Hi, Karen Carroll here. You haven't heard from me in a while, but I thought I would be in contact because it's almost Christmas. Who can believe it? This year has gone so fast, which is so good in so many ways, and in other ways, makes you think, how fast life is going by. Anyway, it's Christmas. I thought I would give you a recitation for Christmas. And it's one about my family and some of the traditions that we had years and years ago. And this is actually a memory of my older sister Aggie, who passed away about almost 5 years ago now, just before her 61st birthday with Alzheimer's, very sadly. But this was a memory she had from very early childhood. And I wasn't actually born when this happened. But like a lot of us storytellers, we put ourselves in situations that we really weren't in. Some of my storytelling colleagues would say that we tell lies. I don't like to think of it that way. So Christmas in our house was a big thing. Not that we had a whole lot. Like a lot of families back then, we had the Christmas tree that just came out of the woods, and we didn't get a lot for Christmas, and that was just the way it was actually for most of the families that we knew. It just wasn't as it is today. It was a totally different time. We did hang up our stockings. We had two chimneys in the house, which were just bare chimneys. So we didn't hang them by the chimney. We used to hang them out in a little alcove by our stairs, and there were just nails in the wall on this piece of board where we hung up our coats and stuff. So we would hang up our stockings, and they were like socks. And when I got older, because I was really smart, I'd hang up my tights. But we'd only get maybe a few nuts and an apple and maybe an orange. And if we were really lucky, we could have gotten some really exotic bananas, because we didn't have bananas very much at that time. And our gifts from Santa were just simple gifts. He left us simple gifts, dolls, and the boys would get cars and things like that, or dinkies, or a game, coloring books, things like that. Anyway, so this happened to Aggie when she was a very small child, actually. So in this recitation, I've made us a bit older. And our custom at that time in our family, when we were growing up in the 60s, was that Mom would take the older kids to midnight mass, and Dad would stay home and mind the younger ones, who were all tucked in bed. And Santa would come, but when you got home from midnight mass, you'd go right up over the stairs and go to bed, and we opened our presents in the morning. So Aggie could remember when she was a small child, probably a little bit older than a toddler. She was upstairs, tucked away in bed, and my dad, who loved Christmas so much, he really did. And he was a bit of a devil skin. He did stuff sometimes that used to make Mom mad, and he was really quick wit. He'd make really quick comments. And anyway, this particular year, he must have fallen asleep. And when he woke up, Santa had been there. And I guess he was so excited to see all the gifts underneath the tree and that Santa had been there, that up over the stairs he went, and he woke Aggie from her sleep. And he took her downstairs and he showed her all the gifts underneath the tree. He didn't let her open anything or touch anything. But of course, our gifts from Santa weren't wrapped, so she could see her presents. But then, because it was after midnight and it was getting close to midnight mass being over, he heard Mom coming home with the older kids. So he knew if she found out, she was not going to be happy. So he very quickly took Aggie up over the stairs, and he tucked her in bed, and he swore to secrecy. He said, "Don't ever tell your mother," because he knew he'd be in big trouble. And she never did tell until we were all much older. We were probably, in at least our 20s, and she let the cat out of the bag. But of course, by then, the statute of limitations was up on that crime. And of course, all they did was laugh. All Mom and Dad did was laugh. But this really did happen in kind of a little bit of a different way. So, of course, Clement C. Moore wrote that beautiful poem, which is known all over the world, years and years ago now, The Night Before Christmas. And there's been lots of versions of that in books and anthologies and places like that. So I styled this recitation on that beautiful poem. So this is The Night Before Christmas, but this Night Before Christmas takes place in my family home, which was in Carbonear, on the north side of Carbonear in Conception Bay, Newfoundland. Hope you enjoy it. So this is the night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas for the girls and the lads. Not a creature was stirring, except for my dad. The stockings were hung by the staircase, you bet, and Mom and the big kids weren't back from midnight mass yet. Me and my sister Aggie were nestled snug in our bed, while visions of Sears wish books danced in our heads. Me in me flannels and she in her fleece went to bed about 7, right prime for our sleep. When out in the hall there arose such a fuss, well, we sprang from our quilts to see what it was. Away to the doorway we flew like a flash, opened up the door, and into Dad we crashed. The light bulb in the hallway gave off a strange glow, illuminating the floorboards of the staircase below, when what to our startled young eyes should appear, then Dad grinning widely, saying, "Come on downstairs. Santa has been here, and if quickly you'll sneak, you can't open anything, but at least you can peek. So come on and hurry, no time to be slow. Midnight mass is soon over, back to bed you must go." Downstairs we both stumbled, asleep in our eyes, excited and anxious to see our new toys. I had a walking doll and a brand new red slide. Aggie had a Barbie and a pair of Levi's. As youngsters all over the world might well know, me and Aggie were delighting in our early show. The tree was lit up, how the tinsel did shine, the star up on top blinked and sparkled in time. Dad's eyes, how they sparkled. His cheeks were right merry. In his plaid polyester pants now, he looked something like Don Cherry. His great big wide grin was drawed up on his face, with his hair sticking out all over the place. The stub of his Rothmans was held in his teeth, and the butts, they encircled his ashtray like a wreath. He pulled on a Santa hat over his ears and took the last swig of his India beer. He was a bit chuffy, but not a bad-looking elf, and we laughed when we saw him put garland on himself. But a turn of his eye and a twist of his head soon told us 'twas time to get back to the bed. For then in a twinkling we heard on the road the crunching of snow. That was Mom coming home. We turned round our heads then and flew up the stairs and ran to the bedroom to keep her unawares. Dad spoke not a word, but went straight to the landing, and he looked at us both from where we were standing, and laying his finger alongside his nose and giving a nod, up the staircase he rose. He sprang to the bedroom just past the stair rail. Into bed we both flew like a strong nor'east gale. Before we covered up our heads, we both heard him utter, "Get right back to sleep, and don't ever tell your mother." There you go, the night before Christmas. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a wonderful, safe, happy Christmas. Something exciting happening in January. I'm going to be in the Down Homer. They interviewed me about my e-album. This recitation isn't on my e-album. It's all, kind of recitations not related to Christmas. Might do a Christmas album some other time. But this has been a big venture for me this year to do this album. It's been a dream of mine for a long time. Thank you to everybody for all your support, all your kind comments, everybody who downloaded, bought, streamed, whatever, my album. I really appreciate that. Hope you have a safe and happy Christmas and a very, very happy and blessed and safe New Year. Stay safe out there. And if you need something at the last minute to give someone for Christmas, anywhere in the world, you can stream my e-album, Molasses and Homemade Bread, on Spotify and YouTube and Amazon and all kinds of places. You can stream it on any of the streaming platforms, iTunes and all those places. So I do thank you, and I do hope you have a happy and safe New Year. And I'll let you know when the Down Homer's out. And my article, the article about me, I should say, is in it in January. Anyway, don't forget my e-album, Molasses and Homemade Bread. Take good care. Thanks.